Indeed, and greetings upon you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again. It's so nice to have you here, brother Isaac. Thank you for joining me, dude. I've been thinking about you a lot. I actually talked about you yesterday on the podcast. Was it on the podcast? Probably wasn't the podcast. Like, I have another Isaac in my life. Like, dude, Isaac, you'll trip out, dude. I don't know if you know, but I have a podcast. Me and my friends, rather, have a podcast as well. And one of the friends is Johan. And Johan and you could just as well be brothers. There we go. Shannon, so nice to have you here, beloved sister. I feel like I've been missing you. It's just me. It's me. I see you. Melting dreams. Melting dreams indeed. Like today, man, time is getting melty in my head. Today, Christian sent me a message where he was like, hey, dude, like for next podcast, can I bring a friend over? Or I think he used the word civilian. Can I bring a civilian, to the stream? I'm like, dude, it's your stream just as much as it's mine. Of course you can bring someone. And it was a nice exchange. Then me and him got into I don't know if it's a spat. Is it a spat? A sticker battle. Like me and Christian have been pushing one another to get super fit. Christian is a machine, and like he's really fit actually now. And like the last time that I went there, me and him were exercising together. And before I left, he was like, by the end of this year, we'll see. He says, we'll see who gets the most jacket. And I'm like, oh yeah, oh yeah, you want to challenge me? Oh, you're stepping up to me. So we were just basically doing that again today, where he's like, you better be exercising, oh. I'm gonna fold you like what was the first one? I can't remember his first one, but the second one is, I'm gonna peel you like a banana. And I was like, bro, don't you know? I don't eat, or I do actually eat the peels of fruits right now. There's no peel to peel, there's only death waiting for you. Something like that. Oh man, I love that dude to bits. He's such a character. Thank you, Fred, for joining me. It's so nice to have you here. I'm excited for the space today. Let's all share some love and learn something about someone. Even if that someone is you, friend. Even if that someone is you who needs to learn something, that's okay as well. Whew. I want to talk about opinions today. I'm not exactly sure who said it, but it's a quote of, other people's opinions are none of my business. And I'm not trying to bring this topic to you friends today from this perspective of like, do whatever you want to, others' opinions don't matter, yada yada yada. Even though yes, even though yes, it's more from this perspective of freeing ourselves by not being so attached to what other people's opinions are about us. Because they're going to have opinions, right? No matter what it is we do. Freaking fly. Asshole. No, that's caught out of my face, man. Have some decency. maybe I have an opinion. Again, actually, in this moment, I have an opinion of that fly. Right? I'm like, bruh, you're literally, your job is to spread bacteria so that things decompose. Please don't sit on me. I'm not ready to decompose just yet. That's my opinion on this little fly. Does that really hinder him to do his fly self? To go about his business, lay eggs, if you will, find a mate, if you will, drink some fermented fruit juice, get schwiggity schwaced, if you will. No. He doesn't care about my opinion. He's just going to keep living his life. It's none of his business. My opinion is literally none of his business. And on that level, we can think of ourselves and our lives in the exact same way, that another person's opinion is literally none of our business, because our business is the things that we're going to be doing in our lives. And their opinion is literally based on the stuff that they've been doing, their business of their lives. So it's not your business. What is the thing that we want to actually smoke for today in that case? Not opinion. Do we want to just smoke for opinion? opinion. Like I know there's a little bit more derogatory in a way of talking about opinions, where it's like, yeah, opinions are like assholes. Everybody has one. Nobody wants to see yours. also, also very, very like direct and to the point. Resonance. That is our intention. Being in resonance with yourself instead of trying to resonate for someone else. Right? Because if you resonate correctly, then that person's opinion might change of you. But in doing so, you won't be resonating in the way that you should be resonating. You know, the frequency that you should be emitting into the universe will suddenly be tainted, filtered, less complete than it was supposed to be. We can't have that. No, absolutely not. So it's either Lisa, thank you for joining us. Oh, job scare, Mel. Dude, I'm living into my right brain so much these last days, where information is just like passing through me. Like it just melts away directly after being experienced. And I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing. Part of me is like it's a good thing, and then the left brain part of me kicks back on and it's like, bro, that's really bad. That should not be happening. And I'm like, oh, well, it's happened. What can you do? I'm gonna put a few infinity symbols on the back of this as well, just to make sure it has all of the magic in it. Can't skimp on the magics. Wouldn't that? Melting Dreams is right. My son, Lorenzo, what a beautiful name that is, just first and foremost, Lisa, had emergency surgery last night on his appendix. He's home now, recovering. Please send him healing energy, my friends. I'm seeing a crescent moon kind of pointing downwards, both lines pointing downwards. I don't know what that's supposed to mean, but sending Lorenzo love, my friend. Fortunately, we have the technological capacity to actually have our appendixes removed. Mine is also, removed. I also have a cut still where they removed my appendix. It is quite a time we're alive in. I'm happy that he's okay. I'm happy that it didn't burst. Like you say, emergency surgery last night on his appendix. Emergency surgery usually happens when the appendix bursts. I hope that didn't happen, Lisa, because that is definitely going to extend his recovery period. But if that did happen, he would still be in the hospital. So I'm assuming it didn't. Shouldn't be assuming anything at all. Please do let me know, Lisa. I need to catch up to it. Here you are, Melita. That's completely okay, my friend. If you want to catch up to a podcast, I actually have one that I've not gotten time to edit completely with another friend from New Zealand. And I feel bad about not posting it yet because he's been asking me for it. And yesterday's stream was about basically AI. We talked a lot about AI. We talked about, again, Neuralink. We talked about the ethics of Neuralink. We talked about, humanity in its evolution. As soon as we get Neuralink, we could be hindering our evolution, at least on a biological level. We talked about getting into an technological age, where we'll be expected / our kids would want to be Neuralinked at extremely young age, and man, that water I spilled yesterday got to my papers as well. Like the ethics kind of attached to whether or not we would want to give our kids Neuralinks at a very young age. Like literally the age that Johan said was age 3. As 3-year-olds, like give them Neuralink so that they can actually integrate into society. And I was like, no, I don't think I'll give my kids Neuralinks until they're 18 years old. And then I kind of like had a little bit of that conversation with Ryan in our yoga session today, and he kind of linked, if you will, this topic of conversation to cell phones as well, and the fact that we're already kind of integrated, our kids already have access to these devices. It's an interesting time we live in, and your opinion of that is going to be what matters, not the opinion of the world. Remember that first and foremost, that you are the one creating your own reality. That things you think and the things you feel and the things you see is you. It's just you. And we can scare ourselves. We can definitely scare ourselves. We can be monsters and angels. Man, I'm freaking butchering it a little bit. But it's done. Magic has been magicked. Gonna put that little paper down. Maybe I'll use it again for a mini joint or something. Human friend. What's the name of the podcast? I keep meaning to find it. I'd love to listen. Melting Dreams. One word. You should be able to find it. I hope so at least. Unfortunately, it doesn't have that many subscribers just yet, so it doesn't really show up in the search results easily. That is, unless you get it perfect. Melting Dreams. One word. And for some reason, my mind is like keep most of the letters lowercase or something as well. Oh goodness, I'm so glad to hear he's home and recovering. I'll send out so much loving energy, knowing you're there. I have no doubts he's going to be so cared for. Thank you for sharing such loving words. Genuinely, Isaac. Grin Reaper. I like that one actually. The Grin Reaper. Reaper of the grins! Friend, you can take them all. You can take every single one of the grins, please. Take the grins and go and share them with others. Yes. Yes, thank you, Mrs. Wind. Please. I mean, to leave on my hair. Let's see. Let's see if we'll be allowed to. Thank you for your positive energy as well. I've been meaning to message you back, Mal. Last week was rough for me. I was feeling well, and I wasn't feeling well, I guess, and feeling out of sorts. But I'm feeling better now. I'm happy to hear that, my sister. Know that you're loved. Know that you're loved and seen, even though it might not feel that way always sometimes. Like there's only that much bandwidth, that we as human beings have to share, and I understand that completely. I really do understand completely. So your friends never have to feel bad about anything. Literally nothing. Don't feel bad about stuff, especially when it is, you not doing something like, oh, I should be replying to this person, etc., etc. That person, when you reply, is going to be there in that moment when they read your message with you, as they've always been. And that's the way I've allowed myself a lot less anxiety. And it's kind of like it kind of folds back into this topic that we're sharing about today of other people's opinions, right? Like it's when we get completely absorbed and obsessed with what other people's opinions or what they might say that we get ourselves into an anxious state of being about not replying and stuff like that. Oh, what are they gonna say? What are they gonna think if I don't reply instantaneously? Nothing. They are smack dab in the middle of infinity, just like you are. And then when you have the opportunity to get together again in the moment that you are, right? In text, in a voice note, in a call, there you will be again as you've always been, in the now. And that has allowed me a lot, of relaxation, lack of tension, calm, I guess, around the whole having to reply. So you're okay, right? No matter what, you are so okay. When there is a reply, the reply will be replied to again in time, as all things will be. Thank you, Fred. I'm very restful. I'm in a very restful headspace today. I was up way too late chatting with Uncle Becky and got a bit too wine drunk. No straining today. Take a good time for yourself, Isaac. Are you still inside? I'm guessing maybe still so. Thank you for the love, Professor Goo. That's so nice of you. Thank you for sharing the space with us. Is the weather always amazing there? It's nice today. It's like kind of transitioning towards winter. So you'll see me with a blankie very soon. The weather isn't always nice, but I think, maybe 80% of the time it's nice. If you can deal with the cold weather would be pretty cool as well. South Africa is a cool country. It really is. Like South Africa has so much potential. I would like, Let's manifest instead. I would manifest that it's the best country in the entire world. Yes. Yes, it has the most potential. Yes. The people are the most loving. Yes. Yeah. The people, are the most anti-government. That might actually be true. That might actually be true. Looking for a shtick to stuff with. Let's see if Mother Nature will provide for me a stick. You know what? I can use my scissors as well. Thank you, Mother Nature, for the scissors. It's the weather. Always opinions are like asshole. Everyone's got one, and nobody wants to see yours. Right, right, Eden. And it's a little bit. That's what is a little bit rash because we don't really want to believe that our opinions mean absolutely nothing, but it's more about realizing that what truly is important is your own opinion of yourself. And I was gonna like take some more time to get to that point, but that is the gist of it. Is what really is important is your opinion of yourself, not so much another person's opinion. Right? Because if you don't have a good opinion of yourself, then that is technically where you're supposed to be directing your power, especially if someone else's opinion of you influences your opinion of yourself. That is a big no-no. And it happens to me even, but we're trying to remind ourselves of that capability, possibility, and then trying to direct ourselves in the opposite direction, strengthening our opinions of self, our opinions of our own understanding, and then in that way as well, by hearing someone else's opinion, you can just learn more about your own. Instead of feeling like it's an attack on your opinion, it is a means to expand, explore your own opinion a little bit better. You're it, friend. You're it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Grin Reaper saying people are going to talk about something. Give them something interesting to talk about. That's a good one as well, actually. All opinions are valid until they are used to squish someone's existence. What happens too often, which happens too often still, but it doesn't need to. There we go. I agree completely. When the opinion becomes something that needs to be defended or forced down someone else's throat, that's when it becomes a problem. That's when it becomes a big problem because then it's no longer you having an opinion. Then it's you having an opinion plus, what's the word? Insignificance complex? Insuperiority complex? Superiority complex. Where you basically expect other people to hold your opinion as well, in order to validate what you're believing. And that's just childish, of course. And yet we see it everywhere. We see it everywhere. I feel like I'm trying to more than ever become very aware. I mean, I share opinions as well, and I tell you, friends, that technically the things I'm sharing is but opinion, but perspective, and that you're the one that's supposed to be learning from it for yourself. Like, oh, I hear Mel say thing, it makes me think this. That thing you think, that is your lesson. That is your truth. Don't listen to the things I'm saying. They're but they're but opinion. Is that what Corey was doing? I woke up like at 3 a.m. and he was chatting away. Probably that. It's probably that, Ninja Peach. The the fly's opinion is none of your business either, Smirky Face. That's true. It is true. Now I kind of like to imagine what would a fly's opinion of me be, even though it is none of my business. For some reason, my mind just goes to tasty. Just sits on my skin, licks my skin or whatever. It's like, yeah, oh, sick. This dude has salt. How nice. So now, even though the fly's opinion doesn't matter, I have constructed for myself a positive one. Melita, I'm teaching another painting class Thursday. Those opinions are so intimidating. It really takes a lot out of me to put myself out there like that. That being said, thanks for the stream. Thank you, Chauvin. Thank you for feeling into this with us today. Okay, So that is a whole other perspective that we have to take into consideration. Not only not caring about opinions, but being a teacher, almost having to listen to opinions, criticisms, perspectives that your students share with you. In that way, you make it your business, right, Javan? You kind of have to make it your business because you listen to them and then you can take tips from them. Again, it's just a means to expand our perspective. Shouldn't be taken as absolutes. Should just be taken as perspective. Be like, oh, I see. I'm not going to change my entire life, but I see. I see what you mean. I feel like opinions can be positive to think about. There we go. It can be a good thing to strive, to be positively thought of. Yet it is futile. When realizing everyone is from different walks of life, we cannot appease people truly. Not everyone. Especially not everyone, Isaac. And I'm so happy that you're bringing that point because that's definitely something that I was sit with, I guess would be the right way to say it. Kind of like thinking about this topic of opinions. Because I believe we have, formed a community where we have positive opinions of one another. But I know there are people who would think of this community as something that is negative, would have a negative opinion of this space as well. And instead of really focusing, making my business, if you will, another person's negative opinion, I get to focus instead on the positive opinions. The biggest thing is, the real thing is, like, negative opinions are usually rooted in the person sharing it, not so much in the thing that it is you're doing. Am I naive in saying that? The difference between opinion and fact as well. I'm like analyzing my entire existence, thinking about all of the opinions I've shared, and then asking, were they opinions or were they fact? Trying to free myself somehow. I'm so proud of it not being able to find this. I'm so out of it not being able to find this podcast. Reveal it to me, universe. Like, I think there's a lot of them even. Like, there might even be like 40 podcasts at this point. Can confirm. Merlin to you, friend. Thank you for joining us, Goo. We have two Goos now, yeah. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? It's a song, yes. How about love? Indeed, Ninja Peach. That's it. I had to duck out like 2:45 p.m. past my bedtime. Past my bedtime. It's funny. Being a real adult means realizing how important sleep is and valuing sleep. I think that's what it means to be a real adult. Because when you're a kid and a teenager, there we go. You're like, sleep's for the weak. Sleep when I'm dead. Etc. etc. Right? But then you become an adult and you have to do things. And then you don't, and you're like still messing around, not sleeping properly. And then when you have to do things, you're just like dying, feeling like absolute ass. And you're like, you know what? maybe sleep is good. In fact, how about that? You can really start appreciating sleep, as I'm trying to appreciate the hair tickling my face right now. You guys are the beasts. He's still passed out. I mean, that makes sense. Like, if I'm sleeping close to 3 a.m., I'm sleeping until 11. I read this in song form. Perfect. Yes, I love to sing this when doing something bizarre at work. I don't think I know it. Let's give them something to talk about. How about love? No, it's like nothing. Just blanks. Just all blanks being pulled. I had to get up 4.5 hours later. I'm not sure I'm alive or if I'm dreaming. Still, we're here. You're here, Isaac. I mean, that is a question in and of itself. We actually asked that yesterday as well. Are we? Is this the dream? and where we go when we're sleeping is actually our reality. Because the way we experience dream time, we probably experience more time in dreams than we experience living this life. So, how do you determine which is your real life actually? Resonance. I've been chanting randomly these days, and it vibrates my skull and ears in a way that make me think of resonance in a whole different way. What resonance means to our bodies. Do our bodies have an opinion on the sounds our mouth makes? I feel it does. I feel it gets affected by it. I'm not sure how though. I don't know if it's a upregulation of bioactivity, if it's DNA getting demethylated, if it is uh, almost like a reversion, like cells rejuvenating. Maybe maybe it is just resonance. You know, because you're vibrating in these ways, your cells just start vibrating at the same frequency. But what does that do? Maybe realigns, stabilizes again, brings back into a tune, into a synchronicity with what it was supposed to be. Like there's a bunch of people, especially now, you know, talking about the future of medicine as sound. Wouldn't that be interesting? Instead of drinking a bunch of pills to get better, having surgery to get better, you walk into a chamber that's just padded with speakers. You know, speakers completely around you. Speakers and some sort of sound absorbing material. Maybe the speakers can be made of some sort of sound absorbing material. And you walk in there, and then depending on the ailment that you've been diagnosed with, they you, and then you walk out a healed person. That's a cool thought. It is a pretty cool thought. But instantly my mind is like, but how? What exactly is happening? Maybe it literally destroys the sound waves, rebuilds the sound waves in the same way, just in the other direction, vibrating things that shouldn't be stuck to something. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm really fascinated by it. More and more so. Like Flossie, my yoga teacher, said this thing about find your medicine. And for long now, I just have these bouts of chanting. From 2019, I started allowing myself to do that. And I'm saying allowing myself to do that because it was like technically it was just making random sounds, right? Like that is the base of it, like making random sounds in a resonant way. And I guess my ego, you know, was so ashamed, was scared of being heard. And before that, and it's not like it happens all the time. It's something that fluctuates, and I'm curious about it. You know, I wish there was more information on this stuff. I say that, and then my intuition is like, "You're supposed to be the information about this stuff." And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? I don't know what you mean. What do you mean? Oh, what are we gonna do, friends? There's so much more to do. There's so much more to do. Like there's, we don't even know a fraction of what there is to know. And instead of figuring it out ourselves, we're building super intelligent machines to figure it out for us. That's going to be the real thing. That's going to be the only way we actually have definitive data. We need really good sensors and machine learning. Then it's pretty easy, actually. It's actually very easy. I mean, there's a third component. Participants also going to be necessary. And then there's the question of whether or not it could have negative side effects. Last night, like the reason I'm saying these things, and I've been doing this for a while, I like to have my speakers facing me, almost like against my stomach. That kind of like muffles the two main speakers, so it's not as loud. Then I crank up the volume to like 70-80%, and then I put a blanket over it, and then I put my hands against the little enter word here, please brain, please brain, please. My brain is like, I don't know what it's supposed to be called. It moves air. It moves air. There's like a speaker unit, you know, the conductor that actually like has the frequencies being pulsated, and then it has a vacuum or like an empty chamber behind it, and then that empty chamber is connected to this loose moving membrane that moves air in the external. Anyway, put my hands over those things, and then they basically transmit frequency like one to one, like you can feel the music. And I've been doing that for about 2 years now. And then about 5 days ago, instead of doing it with my hands, my foot was hurting, and I put it against my foot. And this is completely circumstantial, anecdotal. But the next morning, my foot was completely okay. Then I went through the day, and around the nighttime, my foot started hurting a little bit again. And I was like, oh well, sleep did me good the last time. Guess I'm sleeping again to get better. And then I slept. The next morning, my foot didn't get better. And now I'm analyzing as well. Like, am I placeboing myself? Am I convincing myself to not heal myself because I didn't listen to music the night before? So last night, I basically had the speaker against my belly, again that little membrane against my belly, and I feel like the vibration transfer was even better when it's directly against your belly than it is against your hands or feet. And then, you know, I had it against like my midsection as well, to high chest or to low chest. And the reason I'm willing to, you know, ask if it has negative side effects is because I don't really think it should. I think it could, but I don't think it should. I can't see why it would. Other than the water that is in me, you know, vibrating at those same frequencies and then maybe tearing themselves from the cells that they're in. Or maybe the cells just vibrate with them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything. Oh goodness. You know, and then I want to know more about this. So I ask other people's opinion. I'm like, I try to find different, you know, perspectives in the universe, reflect off of them, and put something out into the infinity, receive something back from infinity. Literally, with another human being. Just sit with that thought. Okay. And I don't know. I don't know. I've not been able to find any answers just yet. I've not been able to find any answers yet. Maybe I haven't been able to find any answers that satisfy me, because I have received answers. How much do we not know? Like, there's a bunch of theories as well, just about ancient societies and their power of sound. Like, maybe that was the technology they used. Not so much electricity, but the power of sound. Frequency. Technically, electricity is also just a sine wave. That's what, that sine wave can be expressed into sound as well. It's all a trip, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm like combining a bunch of different sine waves in a very intricate and complex way. And then the sounds that I make comes out of my mouth. You could analyze and break up what I'm saying right now into a whole spectrum of sine waves as well. Listen to them individually, and there'll be white noise. There'll be like a tune, right? Fluctuating, of course. But it's quite something. We also have the ability to make sound black holes, but I don't feel comfortable going any deeper into that one because I don't understand it at all. But yeah, apparently that's also a thing. Showing my age a bit. You're as young as a spring chicken, Eden. Love you, my friend. Geez, you guys are beasts. I hope you had fun at least. I'm glad Corey got some chatting time without me for once. Oh, Eden, like, you are appreciated nonetheless. You know that. And I appreciate you so much for sharing love with your beloved. I actually read it in the Will Ferrell's voice. I think from Step Brothers. Okay, that's an amazing one. I really do love the Step Brothers movie. I remember that they made music, or they tried to make music. Made music. But I can't remember any of the lyrics. I just, like, for me, the scene in my head is, did we just become best friends? Yep. That's like the Step Brothers scene in my mind. Neo, just dropping by to say hi. Thank you for joining us, dude. It's been a while since you've said hi. Sorry if I'm seeing it only now. Thank you for joining us as well. Dan, it's nice to have you, man. How are you doing, Brother Babe? How's the family? C note, and I'm staying in there another hour and a half. Trying to peer into the opinions of someone else is synonymous with attempting to look out of their eyeballs with your own. It is a pointless endeavor, but bears no fruit. When asking for an opinion, we can get an image, but never truly understand. You're right, Isaac, and I'm so happy that you're saying that after I kind of like shared my seeking of answers, externally as well. And what a beautiful way that is to say it. But I still think that there is yet value in that. Like, and you said it so beautifully. Like, let's just say, by asking a question, you peer into the opinions of someone else. It is synonymous with attempting to look out of their eyeballs with your own. Hmm? Just those words, too. How beautifully put. Such a trip. And yes, that is exactly what you're trying to do. And it's a pointless endeavor. You're right, like, because of the fact that you're the biggest infinity that you can access. You can reference infinity, sure, but you are the first and foremost infinity, right? Your opinion, your perspective, the way you see the world and the way you should be living your life is going to be completely up to you. To damn with other people's opinions. What a trip. What a trip, Isaac. Infinity, dude. I'm happy to be seeing through your eyes, dude. If I didn't, I wouldn't be seeing these. Wouldn't be feeling these feelings. And I wouldn't want to give these feelings up for anything. Auntie! So you hi to Melton Moore. Thank you for joining us, my friend. So nice having you here. How are you doing? How's the farm? How's the kids? My brother and sister have had basic, what's it called? We call it like April vakantie, like April vacation. It's not April just yet, but it will be soon, right? Actually, no. Time. Yeah, I think it is. It's the 29th today, right? Yeah, yeah. I just had to access that part of my brain. It's like, what? Days? Days, yes, days. Here. Thank you. I appreciate it. That is intense. Hats off to you, friend, for that power. No, you. No, you, Isaac. Was it? Was it you? He was talking to at 3 a.m. Sounded like he was just one other person. I didn't want to bug him, so I just went to bed. If it helps, friend. I'm not sure either now. Let's see. Let's find out together. It helps, friend. In every interaction I've had with you, I've walked away impressed, inspired, and thankful. I couldn't agree more. Dude, genuinely. Hey, talking about Candace. Just spent the first night in our new home. Okay, let's put ourselves in the mindset of Candace right now. Candace just spent their first night in their new home on their own piece of property. Zzz, unzips the tent, opens it up, peers into light, seeing a space that is literally pure potential. You're like, I can do this. And in this space, we can do that. And here we can plant some trees. Oh, Candace, thank you for allowing us into your life and for letting me see through your eyes. Spent the first night and are you home? I added you as a friend on Discord. Thank you. I saw. I'm waiting patiently. Soon, Candace is gonna be like, Mel, I've done these drawings as of late with these new inspiration of this new, life energy of the farm, the plot of land, however you want to say it. So many options. Like so many options. Infinity options. Literally infinity options. You could spend all of infinity exactly where you are, and you would never run out of beautiful things. You'll never, never run out of change. I'm really noticing the grass losing its vibrant green, kind of retreating into the cold winter. It's not that cold. I think the grass is sissies. You know what? I should say something else. Weaklings! Yeah, that one's better. He's dreaming about nuclear fusion, tesseracts, and subatomic quarks. Is it in that order? Is the real question. Does it go nuclear fusion, tesseracts, subatomic quarks? I think it would have to go probably nuclear fusion, subatomic quarks, tesseracts. I'm just joking. Goo, thank you for joining us, friend. I love Will Ferrell. Me too. He does it. He's a cool character. I got him to. I gotta go back into nuclear power today a bit. I came in and about time you guys were chatting about housing market. There we go, friend. It helps more than you know. So much love to you, friend. Yes, thank you for your patience. It was our maiden mental exchange. Things got very multidimensional. Dude, oh goodness, we're definitely so like, and this is something I shared on the podcast yesterday as well. I believe we're already living in a different reality. Like it already happened, and it's gonna keep happening. Like this is it. This is the next stage. This is the next world. One of love, one of awakening, one of seeing the light, whatever that means. One of seeing the infinity. Oh goodness. Like we have some crazy abilities as human beings. And just being able to feel is probably amongst the most powerful of them. You can elicit a response from anything. Isn't that insane? Look at anything in your environment and ask yourself, where is the infinity? And then you have so many dimensions to fractal out into. Time. Look at that thing in your mind in 10,000 years or 10,000 years ago. How much stuff had to happen for that thing to be there right now? Think of it in use cases. Think of it in texture. Think of it in different layers of magnitude, getting down to the atomic level, sitting in between atomic structures, fractal universes built down, built up, and it's everywhere. And you can get everything, all of existence, from all of it. And you are that. Why would you put power in the opinions of others when that is what you're capable of? And I'm not saying, again, to not listen to others' opinions, to not appreciate their opinions. What I'm saying is to put power in others' opinions, more so than your own. If you hear an opinion and it resonates as a truth with you, you can take that opinion up as well, of course. But if it doesn't, then it's none of your business, literally. My business is infinity. I'm in the market for infinity. But sir, what do you mean? Everywhere. We'll go everywhere as humanity, friends. We'll experience so much more. And yet, all of that experience is going to be in this same moment that we're experiencing now. It's such a weird concept to wrap your mind around. And the way that my mind visualizes trying to wrap itself around it is like, wasn't I just here? Pretty sure I was just here. Why is this still not working? Oh, if you could only react to the entire Elf movie. I don't think I've seen that one. I've seen it a billion times. Goodness. Wait, is the Elf movie the one with the little hairy things and big ears? I don't know if those are the ones. It's incredible. Whoa. Oh, that sounds amazing. So glad you guys had a good chat. Kind of glad I fell asleep so Corey could do his own thing in the chat. I talk too much. Eden, you talk exactly the adequate amount. As much as you feel needs to be expressed. That's why we're here, to express light. And if you have light inside of you, right? Because that's what happens. I believe, again, these fractals of light that happen. Oh, you hear something and then shit. It's a flash in a pan almost. You feel something and you're like, or to say that thing that you just felt. And I think that's beautiful. So you should share just as much as you are. Like, don't ever, doubt yourself on that either, Eden. I love you so much, friend, and I love everything you have to say. That is incredible. Gotta say, as a whole, one of the conversations for the books, I will be referencing that memory many times. Also got the inspiration for therapy. I mean, a head massage is already a vibe, dude. So therapy sounds like a real vibe to me as well. I mean, I don't like my hair getting cut right now. So is there a way to therapy without cutting a lot of my hair? And that's the real question. Because then the cutting of hair can cause anxiety. It's really hard to find without a link. It is, right? Melina, and like me, Johan, and Christian like to joke about the podcasts almost being like we're talking about stuff that we shouldn't be talking about, or like it's complete egoical, of course, but it's funny. It is funny because like our Discord, is wacky these days, where they're like cutting out so we can't hear each other properly, and the recordings turn out a little bit wacky because of that. My Discord has just been weird, overall. Maybe it's because of what's going on in the world right now as well. So much weirdness. So much weirdness. And yet, instead of being afraid of it, you can just be open, knowing that you're held. Thank you so much for sharing the link as well. I appreciate that so much. Makita. Yay! The return to the cozy blanket. It's coming. It's definitely coming. Oh, me too. That and probably Step Brothers as well. Step Brothers I've seen, but I can't. Like I can remember a few of the Will Ferrell movies that I've watched, but it's almost like he's the same character in all of them. Gateway Process! It's been forever since I've seen you, Fred. Thank you for joining us. Sending love from across the world. Love received. Okay. Does it snow? No, it hasn't yet, at least. I won't tell nature how it is. It might change. Who knows? It's interesting how dangerous our own opinions can be as well. If we spend time in that space, we can take the image of someone we have and slowly shift it with time, even if we haven't interacted. Oh, that's a very good point, Isaac. Like almost like your opinion is very important, but having external opinion gives you an anchoring point or a weight, where you're like, okay, now I have informational input again, so I have more stuff to build my opinion upon instead of it just being the information I'm constantly generating. What a good point that is as well, Isaac. Dude, thank you so much for sharing with me today, man. Does it snow? No, again. Speaking of talk too much, I'm sorry I'm having several sidebar conversations here in the stream. Eden, no. Eden, you're loved, friend. You're so loved. Shelly! Shelly, thank you for joining us. What I value, perhaps most about this space, is what the opinions are everyone's. There is not just one idea. Most ideas have a safe place to land here. You're so right. You're so right. Whew. And I appreciate you so much for being a part of that show. Like it's you, as I shared with you today. Again, you have such a beautiful place in my heart. Where like one of the first messages Eden ever sent was her just basically proclaiming, I saw there's this space, that we can go create within, and instead of not believing herself to be worthy of it, here she is, sharing love with us. Can I summarize? Whew, okay. We talked about opinions today, and we basically came to the conclusion that your opinion, first and foremost, is what's going to be of the utmost importance. And that secondary opinion is basically there to support the formation of your own opinions, instead of them having to be taken as authority. There's also the means of asking opinions and then using that to see through the eyes of someone else, allowing them to be a mirror to you. You get to hear them say something and then form your own opinion, whether or not you want to be that part of yourself. Oh, I've been dreaming this. What do you think? I don't really want to have that opinion. I don't agree at all with you. I had this dream last night. What do you think it means? Oh, it probably means that you're, going to be extremely lucky very soon, and a lot of abundance going to flow into your life. Yeah, well, yeah, that is probably what it means. It's still you. It's still you, and you're still the one asking. You're still the one, seeking it outside of yourself. But you're the one forming the opinion. So do it yourself first, and then you get to share, positive experiences, the positive opinions of others. The key is to respect their opinion and differences. There we go. This is where self-control is so important. Thank you for joining us, man. It's nice to have you here. Professor Gu says yes or yes. I'm hoping behind your conceptualization, continued contemplation, energy application will bring it to our reality. I couldn't agree more, and how beautifully and eloquently said that was as well, dude. I've summarized, friend, I've summarized as well as I could. You can rewatch the entire stream. It will be on the internet, hopefully, into infinity, for as long as the internet's a thing. If there's aliens watching right now in 5,000 years, you are also infinity. And we're like, we know, Mel. We fucking know. Fruit Cup and I started a mom baby music class yesterday, and she slept like a boss last night, which means I slept like a boss. So I am hyped today. Side note, 20 babies banging drums at the same time with no rhythm is an entire vibe. Like, again, Ninja, Eden, we're already living in a different reality. Like, what did you just say to me? Like, what words just came out of my face? Baby and mom music classes where the little babies are drumming. That makes me so happy. Cannot even explain how happy that. Why did I never think of something like that? Babies in music classes playing drums with their mom, completely out of sync, being able to express themselves in such a visceral way. That is surreal. Like, I'm imagining what I would have, what I would have been like, what my kids would be like, what my brothers and sisters would have been like if they got to do that as babies. What does that do to your biology? Again, with the sound, I do this and it makes bomb. The fuck? I am little baby. It's like I am. That makes me so happy. Thank you, Eden, for sharing that. You see, if you were like, oh, I shouldn't be sharing the stuff that happens or sharing too much, I would have never had that experience. Haley, share some opinion. I've been trying to. At least some of it is opinion. It was about to burst, thank God. It didn't until removing. How old were you, Melt, when it was removed? He is 14! I was 14, exactly! Thank you for your energy. I'm returning that love to you and yours. Thank you so much for that as well, Heather. Nope, Lisa. I was also 14. On my 14th birthday, literally, my mom baked a cake. I had the cake in the car. On the way to school, I was like, something is not right with me. Like, this whole deal that I've been like sitting with for like a week and a half, it's reaching a critical point. Something needs to be done right now. Right now. We went to the hospital. They took it out. Luckily, in time as well. Also in time. I'm also very happy about that. So very crazy. Why is 14 the age? I appreciate it, friend. I got the gears turning and the ball rolling all in time. Are you a guru? Hey, guru. My friend, like the thing that I've heard, that's very beautiful. A guru or a teacher or a shaman or etc., is no more and no less than a friend. Okay? We're just friends, dude. Walking hand in hand into infinity. Where are we going? Somewhere. somewhere in this direction. General direction, we're gonna be going there. That's not very helpful, dude. You think I know? I was hoping you would tell me. Love Guru. No, please. Please. I just, like, when I think Love Guru, I just think about this. I love the energy. It's like having Navi around. Navi to me is like a gaming team. I think it's, is that what you call it? Like a team that basically plays different competitive games. I love the energy it's having. Oh yeah, the best. I wish I could have a teleporter and just beam out friends from here to the clients. You'd be top of the list. That's a whole different thing to get into. But yes, I also want one. If it's like the same, I mean, I was about to say if it's the same person that comes out on the other side, you're not even the same person that you were 10 seconds ago. So if you still think you're yourself, you probably are. Let me just say, I don't even know what that means, but yes. Opinions are unique perspectives on individuals' realities. Both negative and positive have a place in the universe. Negative opinions give some contrast and reflection. They encourage me to push harder to see the positive, yin and yang, both sides of the infinity. Thank you so much for saying that. So beautifully said, Eden. Have you ever got your appendix removed? I did, Lisa. Also at 14. Sounds perfect to me. If you think about it, we are at the moment right before death, currently. Our life flashes before our eyes before we die. And can you not explain life the same way? There is no time, just present flashes, ever continuing. We're living that flash. You're the light. Or you are that flash. You're literally the light. Isaac, thank you so much for sharing that beautiful perspective as well. If I have a teleporter that works 100%, are you willing to take a trip? I am still not sure about the killing myself in one place and reconstructing myself in a different place. Ryan, I'm so happy. Like me and your like minds processing in parallel again. Already living in a different reality again. So yeah, again, if you think you're still you at the other side, you probably are. Good morning, Uncle Becky, beloved brother Bear, and Kira Burb tuning in at the same time. It's so nice to have you. Lisa is here as well. Thank you for joining us, friends. Sir, I'd guinea pig that any day to come hang. I'd guinea pig. I'd give anything that day. It doesn't sound trippy though. Maybe a car, horse, or plane is the move. I mean, especially with the whole, you are going to die as you are right now, and then you're going. Okay? What do you mean I'm gonna? What do you mean? I mean, like, so technically, your soul has the means to travel interdimensionally pretty much as fast as it wants to, but your body doesn't. So we have to atom by atom deconstruct your body, and then as we start deconstructing your body, reconstruct your body in another place in the universe, and then your soul basically just clips over to the other side. It's like, are you trying to convince me? Have you tried this? Am I your guinea pig? There we go. I get it now. All day, all dreams are real, and we're very deeply in the layers of dreams. There we go. We're the dream of God. Oh, howdy, friend. Hope you're feeling pretty good. Again, hi, Lisa. The endocrine system always has something to say about the current state of the body. Ugh. Talking about press some of your own buttons. Ooh, yeah, pressing them relaxation buttons. Am I giving myself goosebumps? Your hair is awesome. Thank you, friend. It grows this way out of my head. Wouldn't you believe it? Love when I can catch you, Mel. Same, Lisa. Hearing your voice is so comforting, and your perspectives are so eye-opening. It's your eyes that's open, friend. You're the one that's seeing. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. I remember them removing my appendix. I was 10, but I remember it being my first run-in with mortality. Interesting for me to think of a 10-year-old having their perspective evolved in a moment. Did you hear that? That's the water hitting me. How dare thee, water! I will not allow you to continue. man. Quiet. I'm just thinking about that now, actually, Shravan. I don't know. Maybe I did think about mortality. Weirdly enough, I was more concerned with them leaving me naked out in the hallway than I was with dying. I don't know why. I guess 14-year-old boy, insecurities about his body. Maybe that's where my fear came from. What a trip. Yeah, you're right, actually. Being like, I can die. What? I I can not live like this anymore. What do you mean? What do you mean? Music is medicine for me for sure. Oh, for me too, Shannon, definitely. Like I already know it is. I'm just thinking about what it will be in the future. I had a dream last night. We were all sitting on the Haywire Hill around a huge fire. We were all there sitting in collective breath. Ooh, so as I like breathed out, zoom, they came the circle, and then on top of that circle, these two bars. Like I think I've like seen that before. I shared it with Melita as well. Circle and these two bars, and they could like compress down, and like as they compress down, that little circle would almost like oscillate out, send frequencies out. A dream. We dream together becomes reality, Uncle Becky. Looking forward to that fire, dude. Looking forward to that breath. It's right here. I had crazy dreams last night, unexplainably summed up. A coastal town in South Africa, jeweler trying to sell me jewelry way bigger than what I wanted, and a bus driving around and around, picking up people and dropping off people that I know. Those are some interesting dreams, Eden. Like I can see some meaning in that. I can see meaning in all of it. I can see infinity in all of it as well. Very interesting. Thank you for sharing, Eden. Dreams slash vision, what have you be? I like that one. Thank you, Jovan. Freaking brilliant as always. Oh wow, what a dream. That's so synchronous. Just 2 minutes ago, I was thinking about a coordinated haywire hill camping trip. Isaac, literally synchronistic shaman chanting. Yeah, it's gonna happen. It's already happening. I need to get good, I guess. Same for me. I learned so much from sitting with music that resonates. It's a great teacher. It really is. Like the ability for music to move you, right? Not only, literally moving the cells of your body with the frequencies hitting you, but to move you, to like create resonance within your body that wants to like match the music. That is very cool. Bruh, a Haywire Hill camp is on the bucket list. Like I feel like it might not even be that far away. Like before we know it, even. They happen like that. Right, hammocks. Oh goodness, I really want a hammock as well. I don't think I've ever actually been able to sleep in a hammock. So being able to do it at Haywire Hill would be a vibe. Good old can of beats and lots of stargazing. Oh goodness, as much as we can. Time is a function of the movement of this dimension. Unfolding into the fourth dimension will reveal what that function actually is. We are only able to perceive the effect of that function. I agree. And I believe our consciousness itself resides within the fifth dimension outside of the dimension of time. And then when you raise your awareness of that consciousness, when you get to that level of consciousness, you can literally perceive yourself outside of time, or you see the fourth dimensional, moving of time in either quicker frames, or you process the same frame for longer. No, 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 no. Maybe like you process the same frame in more fractals. So the amount of time it would take you, for instance, like let's say I look at this wood, right, and I see the fractals, the patterns on it, and now I can like kind of go into thinking about the actual tree and how it was like structured. I can think about how it like grew from a little stick. I can think about the animals that lived in it, and just the amount of time that that took me to say, I could have been thinking it all in a split second. So the way that I perceive time literally becomes infinite. Like you can do as well. Like breath work. I think is one of the best ways to really do it. You get yourself into a state of heightened awareness, and I believe that DMT, the thing that you literally pump through your brain when you breathe, when you do like proper breath work, it is it is the perception gate. It opens you up to that awareness. It's a trip, Professor Goo. It's all a trip, dude. And we're that. We have an old school RV. It's huge. I so badly want to drive it down to Texas and pick up all the friends along the way. We'll definitely pass through Ohio. There's a room for at least 10. That sounds amazing, Eden. Speaker? Speaker. Like a JBL Bluetooth speaker. Sometimes it's the only thing that can pull me out of my funks I get into. And it can be so, you can communicate to a part of yourself as well. The fact that the way, and we had like a whole conversation about this, the way you feel in a moment can make the music mean something in that moment. It's almost like there is a layer, a dimension of nuance in the music that you're only allowed to access when you feel the way the person felt when they made that music. That is a trip. I mean, yes, like we're really getting into the trippy stuff today. Yeah, just here to take my upvote, and my opinion is the only one of infinite. You're completely right. Thank you for joining us with yours nonetheless, Natalie. Campfire jams, belly laughter, wholesome hugs, likely tears. Oh, absolutely. I see it for sure. I love it. Isaac, Reddit, let me reply directly. It's like, please, please. The holistic practitioner I've been seeing makes remedies containing frequencies that help tell your brain how to heal your body. She recently uploaded a video explaining it. I can send it to you, Mel. Please do, Shannon. I would love to see that. Gabbity Goo, how are you? Thank you for joining us, my man. It's so nice to have you here. No joke, this should happen. I was just thinking about one day just taking a vacation to stop by all the friends I could to visit. But I like this. We could kid it out with cheese balls and a cozy nap, space to nap and watch movies. That sounds too good to be true. Are we worthy of something so fantastical? Well, she also does something like what you're talking about. She will make you a playlist with the frequencies your body specifically needs. I need to then like look into this a little bit. Please do share it with me, Shannon. I dare you. Okay, what you drinking? I'm drinking water. Like I'm drinking water, friend. Hermes plural water to be exact. Magic water. Sending love to you, friend. Sending them right back to you, Lisa. Thank you so much for sharing some good vibes. How are you doing, friend? Oh, hell yeah. It's like super 70s vibes right now. It's getting an internal makeover at the moment, a bit of updating, etc. Hoping it is done in a few months. It's my dad's big project. Oh, that sounds amazing. Now you're like, ooh, again, now it's not just a van. Now it's all of these fractals of experience of your dad's hard work. Suddenly, the van is this explosion of information. We're currently experiencing the Kali Yuga era. We're coming out of the Kali Yuga era, actually. It will be over soon. Yeah, we're basically at that. We're at that exiting. But unfortunately, not still some time left before it is over. Proof of this is the Dark Ages and recognizing that we are Dark Ages, last days. You're completely right. You're completely right, dude. I agree with that. That's why we are awakening. I feel the Mayans were right. The world ended in 2020. We're living in the new world. Now we just have to make it. And the way we're going to make our new world is humanity, human beings rather, comes first. The human being. Every single person is a divine whole, is an infinite whole that deserves, because there's enough resources to have their bare minimum needs met. Like we were in the dark ages where human beings weren't taken care of. Just like think about a village, in ancient times. People that didn't have the means to do the things that they were supposed to were taken care of. Their skill sets were like applied somewhere else. And we evolved in a world with skill sets that are going very unutilized these days. The skills that we're expected to implement are not what human beings were made to do. Automated tasks. And instead of, continually grinding the human being against this grind mill, what did we do? We're like, let's make something that is metal and can think for itself, that can do that without hurting itself. All it needs is frequencies to do this. Some electricity. Then we started building robots. And this is just a start. This is just a start. Robots are going to be a big change to the way we see life. Oh, goodness. You're completely right, though, Professor Goo. It's pretty much over, dude. The Kali Yuga is over, friends. It is the dawn of Aquarius. It really is, friends. We're it. We're it. Like the suffering is done. We're building the new world. You are building the new world. And it starts right here in your mind's eye. What do you see? Are you scared? Or is it sacred? Is it the end of the world? Or is it the loop of infinity? It's incredible that we've manifested that, and it's going to happen now. You're completely right. You're completely right, Isaac. We need to start focusing on the micro decisions to help steer the ego. Micro decisions. That's a good point. The things that you do almost subconsciously, day in, day out. That really will help to steer the ego. What a good point that is, Uncle Becky. Wholesome wizardry, literally. Gandalf the Gracious. Ooh, I like that one even more. Hey, Bonnie McMurray. I got it, friend. There is an interesting podcast I'll try and find the name of, but I believe the episode was The Plague of Choice. And it goes into how detrimental too many choices for the human brain is. Dude, I was thinking about that as well, very recently. Just like option overload. It's like, look at this, look at this. How about this? Don't you want to look at this? So crazy. You're getting winter and we're getting spring. What a trio. It's so beautiful. Like we actually get to experience both sides of the infinity in this way as well. Where literally as your side of the infinity, turns around into summer, mine turns around into winter. I get to be cold when you're hot. You get to be cold when I'm hot. It's so beautiful. And it's really is everywhere. It really is everywhere. Oh goodness. I wonder sometimes if it's bad for me. If I'm allowing myself to think too much. But then I remember that I take times of not. We do both. My grass is coming alive as yours is fading, and it's beautiful. It's perfectly beautiful. I'm so jealous. I live in a concrete jungle that looks so pretty, and that's why I'm sharing it with you, friend. That's why I'm sharing it with you. Thank you for joining us from your concrete jungle. Nonetheless, you are still the node of infinity, dude, in concrete jungle. Still the beauty. As mine gets another layer of snow. gets into the facts that we add all of these layers and choices to our lives that complicate our brains. Like Uncle Becky was saying, we make tons of micro decisions. Having 8 million Netflix options doesn't help. Of course, you say Netflix options. That is exactly to the T what I was thinking. What I was thinking, I was like, I was in Netflix and I was like spending some time. I think this was last night, maybe even, after I finished the podcast, and I found myself in the options page. Like, nah, I don't want to watch this. Nah, this is not gonna serve me. This doesn't look like good information. And I try to watch, something that's going to inspire me always. Give me some perspective on the whole. And I was like, how much time is humanity losing as a collective? I was like wondering if there's a statistic for it. Like every single human being, the seconds, the minutes that they've spent not being able to pick something. How much time is that? And I was like, probably as much time as we've spent building civilization by now. I was like, I said something like that. I don't know if that's the right figure, but I was like, goodness. If only we knew. If only we were aware enough to really know. Like, and I'm not even going to add more fractals or a specific fractal to the rest of that sentence because just that pretty much applies. Man, just had this trippy thought of like all of the stuff I'm looking at is influencing me, and then technically the things I'm saying is what I'm looking at. Even though I'm not saying the things I'm looking at, I'm still saying the things I'm looking at. Does that make sense? I don't know if that's right, but it was a trippy thought in the moment. Ego doesn't have a driver's license, is legally blind, highly intoxicated, and in no shape to be behind the wheel. Handcuff ego and lock it in the trunk. No, dude. Don't handcuff ego and lock it in the trunk. Like, befriend it. It'd be like, dude, hey, come on, get out of the driver's seat. Buddy, you're not in a state to drive. Come here, come. Yo, you can just sit in the back. Yeah, sit in the back. No, don't worry about it. Yes, we'll play some music for you. Yeah, sure. Climbs in the car, gently starts driving it into infinity. Yeah, yeah, I know you want to drive. I know. But like only when you get a little bit better, okay? Befriend your ego. Don't kill it, don't hurt it. It serves a purpose nonetheless. A small tear falls from the cheek. Tear falls from the cheek. I feel you, friend. So much love being shared. I don't know. I feel mine behaves sometimes, and I sing with it in the passenger seat. There we go. One time, loving the sucker in the truck. There. Oh, oh, my heart. Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. Like that. Oh, actually, I'm super zen. I don't overreact. I'm calm. Like that's how I feel every single time when you friends do that, where you're like say basically the exact same thing that I feel in my heart as well. Locking in the trunk of love, stay in there, don't come out till you feel loved. Just like now, suddenly when you said trunk of love, I was like imagining screens, literally on every single surface. Maybe that's dystopian. It, okay, anyway, I was imagining screens on every single one of those surfaces, and then like fractals kind of, coming in and out, becoming bigger and larger right around him, and there being like a little snack bar and like a comfy neck cushion, and you can just kind of like lay back with your legs a little bit kinked in the trunk of love. Hey, ego. Bonk! Put them in this thing. Wakes up. Melts. Really to go. Come back. Open the trunk. Your ego is like this gooey mess. Throw it back over yourself. Ugh. Be the person you want to be. You can take the analogy you want to from that. The correction inspires some fun artistic ideas. Oh, yes, it does. Before I start my first meeting of the day, I wish you all thanks for showing up in this space and for sharing with me. I love you. I love you too, Shell. I know you're not here anymore, but I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being with us. Thank you so much, friends. I adore you. You're on the happiest planet. You know what's the cool thing? We're on the same planet. you're you're on the same planet as I am, dude. You're just on your side of the infinity of the same planet. I just happen to be me and you happen to be you. I feel like it's not uncommon that mistakes sometimes drive creation. Love you, Ryan and Shell. I don't think it's uncommon either. I feel like it can happen, very coincidentally. Is that the right word? And then it can turn out beautifully. Happy little mistakes. That's what Bob Ross says. It's like the weird side mission in a game where you meet the crazy colorful guy in the market to gain X number of infinity to complete the mission. Yes, that's exactly that. In the supermarket. Did you say supermarket in the market? Okay. Okay, suddenly new fractal gets built. Market, like kind of like tented areas, has like his completely closed, like brown, beige outside. And then as you enter, it's like beautiful, deep, like deep colors, like beautiful black outlines, these different mosaics, or symmetry on the walls. Come and get your infinities. Thank you. Yes. Therapy could be done just by taking care of your curls, Mount. You'd like rub some coconut oil into my scalp and stuff. That's true, actually. Thank you for actually saying that, Natalie. Never change your hair. Don't say that. Like, there is only change. My hair will change. There's nothing that I can do about that. All I can do is accept it, surrender. Surrender and melt into it. Oh my goodness, there's a million things I could do to hair that isn't cutting or color. It was an ideal Uncle Becky and Goo helped come up with for a stream one day, holding space while doing some hair. It's a great platform for conversation. There we go. That is actually pretty cool. Dude, like Isaac, sure, suddenly my mind was like, this can be a thing. This is a thing. Because then you could almost make like a platform of it where and this is what I want to do as well. Not exactly therapy, but I want to be able to go out into the world and just talk to you friends, talk to people. Like I feel like so many of the podcasts that do well are like, big name people that are already popular, people that have some sort of significant infinity in someone's mindset. And instead of kind of like doing that, just recognizing the individual, every single person exact infinity, you just don't know them. That's why you don't have that in your head. And then just being able to go and talk to people, but by cutting hair, just getting people in and cutting their hair, technically you would be doing that. And it would be such a cool platform. And you can ask them if they want to or not, of course. And then it can be something, like busy work as well. Like you could just be cutting. Dude, mm, mm. That's a cool idea. That's so cool. Like Isaac, I'm 100% behind you on that. Have you been using the aloe vera on your hair? I haven't. I've been using it on my face, but the aloe vera in my hair, I don't know what it is. I feel I usually do it when my hair is dry. Like I put the aloe vera on my face, and maybe I should mix it with water if I want to put it in. I think you just did say that. I don't know. I don't want goo in my hair or something. I should just do it. Just do it. I bet it would grow like crazy out there during the summer. It does. We actually have a bunch of aloe vera here. It's pretty nice, actually, Jovan, and I'm very grateful for it as well. Like I wish we had more health plans. Like I know that the lavender has, you know, whatever flavonoid it is, basically stimulates a relaxation sensation in your central nervous system. And the aloe vera has medical benefits as well, for skin and hydrating. But I wish I had the ability to, as I was looking at different plants. I don't know if any of the other plants do have medical benefits, but just to be able to see into that plant, see all of the chemicals that it's made up of, and then know what it's going to do to me if I put it into my body, how it's going to influence my infinity if I have those chemicals a part of it. And then having the means to not as well, of course. I think that's going to be a part of it. It's probably going to be taxing to see that much always. Our minds are too active to stagnate on opinions for too long. I moved my stream. Sun is like, yeah, bitch. Think you can win that easily? No. But I think I know how I can win once and for all. I would rather break from the stream than be uncomfortable during stream. I'll be back in a second. Yeah. Bye bye, son. Oh, I guess I did ask for that one. Our minds are too active to stagnate for too long. We cannot take simple for what it is. We are constantly growing and tunneling with thought, which is beautiful power and a dangerous weapon when guided with negativity. Very good point. I feel not only guided with negativity, but letting it run loose like a wild animal. And I feel that is almost like the state of thought for most of us most of the time, right? Where it's just this thing that just goes constantly. Right? And in realizing that you aren't that you're not that constant, chattering, that you're something much, 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 much more infinite. Because your thought is linear. It has to be, because that's kind of the way it gets used to existing in this plane of existence. But existence, all of existence is not linear. If only it was, it would be great. Friends, I do want to skip to the present moment. I want to be here for all of your comments. I'm just going to share love as I go down. Thank you, my friends. Thank you so much. Like, I love you to bits. Oh, there we go. I'm going to skip up a little bit. I like snakes, not a fan of the smell they leave behind. Yeah, they do smell pretty snaky. Like, I've rationalized getting a snake again, and I was like, I want an egg eater. Like, it's this very beautiful brown and light brown snake that eats eggs. Yeah. And it's like in my mind, I'm like, yeah, feeding my snake an egg every now and then. I don't even know what the frequency is supposed to be. Once every 2 days or once a week or whatever is a lot less jarring than feeding it something that's alive that I go and buy at a store, or catching something and then feeding it to it. But with all pets, there there's suddenly this responsibility that there's something that you have to take care of. You know, it's depends on you for its survival. And sure, I could build an automated egg feeder system and pipe water to it on a solenoid. That's pretty easy. But but I don't think that's fair towards the animal. So I'm like, eh. Don't need snakes. Nothing much. I listen to Jay Shetty. Jay Shetty is a cool dude as well. I've listened to some of his stuff as well, actually. I think I'm overestimating my snake handling capabilities. Kira Burr, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I don't know if it's difficult handling snakes, but I wouldn't consider myself. I would consider myself also as someone who overestimates their own snake handling capabilities. So I'm there with you. That's our subreddit community and physical property. That's where you'll find me. That's right. Thank you, friend, for joining us. It's nice to have you here, Chandro Tomar. Very cool name, actually. Yes, sir. I used to do that tons in the South. I had one too many of the Crown Royale and Mountain Dew mixers and almost died in the rocks the last time I went. Was floating in a river. Goodness, goodness, Isaac. I'm happy you're still here with us, dude. Flashes to Kira holding 25 snakes. Guys, I need some help. Just like Frozen. If I move, what's gonna happen? There's 25 of them on me. Now suddenly, like Kira and Snake become, linked, some sort of mental field, and they become like a shield, like an external super suit. Would it be able to add power? Technically, yes. If you can really, really, really get them to coordinate. Mm, the imagery is like that's a lot of snakes. That's a lot of that's a lot of snakes. 25 snakes. We're all used to have brave enough to swim across the river at midnight. Is the river going fast? Like what was it just called? Phil Pee Wee's Big Adventure. If anyone knows that movie, unfortunately I don't. Just holding, I know about it, but I haven't seen it. Just holding 60 snakes and screaming and diving. Sounds like fun. I was also roped into the polar plunge. Oh, it's called. That's the one. Joe Bot, will you please create this image? Adventure. There we go. The image is making me crackle. I meant this one. Flashes Kira holding 25 snakes. There we go. Would it be a Kira burb of the 25 snakes? Unfortunately, my mind cannot unsee the snake suit. When it came from, at least like the reference material that my mind is, getting from, is this movie called Team Seal, where one of the seals kind of like works with, I guess, these cephalopods, and those cephalopods have the ability to become the super suit that goes like invisible and stuff. It's absurd, but now my mind is like, that's sick. It's so cool. So freaking cool. It was sketchy AF. We jumped in at the pool that could just have pulled us to Niagara Falls if we weren't careful enough. Freaking Corey. Living large. I'm happy to hear you're awake, Brother Bay. Thank you for joining us. How are you doing, man? Death Float. The movie that hasn't been made. You want to make a movie? Yes, I do actually, Uncle Becky. I do want to make a movie. That river's a bitch. Deadly horrible bitch. Swiggity smoothie. I'm a boop that snooty. I'm so happy that I got to be present to have Toast Malost here. Kyle, so nice to have you here. Dude, dude. How has your infinity been treating you, man? Freaking dude's laughing at me. How has it been treating you, dude? It's been a wild ride. The word preoccupied comes to my mind. Mm, I need to meditate more, right? Yeah, that's probably it. So happy to have you, Toast. Look what the goats dug in. Drug it. They freaking got him. I'm happy that they did. Must have like stolen some toast from the house. Oh goodness, I forgot that you would be in that river. Just get me a barrel and call me Bill. What's up, Toasty? It's nice to have you here with the bay. My brain's creating it and making giggles. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Man, I feel like I am absolutely ungrounded. Puts fingertips on the ground. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. That did. Done. Yes, that did help. Absolutely. Maybe did the opposite, but it feels like I can see better. Sometimes when I stare out into infinity, I think about the fact that there are 8 billion other universes out there, other infinities out there, other nodes of perspective. And the amount of intricacy and depth that we can experience, I can experience in this moment, is being experienced billions of times. It's wild. Goodness. That makes me really super happy. Like it's super happy making me to hear you super happy. Melt, what if we build the Melty bus at Haywire Hill and you can come here first, then depart from here to see the things and feel and meet the people? Hmm, that sounds so perfect. The biggest thing I'm concerned about, Uncle Becky, is a visa. I don't think I can stay more than 2 months. I think that's the longest. Maybe 6 months. I'm not sure, but I think like the 60 days is how long they give you with our like visas. That sucks. But if I can get it extended to like a year, I would like just come and live in America for a year. Woo, why not? Just do it. And then I love that idea of actually coming to the Haywire Hill, building the bus, and then going and exploring America with it. How sick would that be? That would be an amazing experience. Blend the yellow with water. Then you can put your leftovers in an ice cube tray and use them for your face. Oh, like I feel like my brain just gained a whole new level of intelligence. Why did I not think of the fact that I can ice cube the aloe vera and then put it on my face? I'm like thinking about the benefits of the cold. Like I've been really fascinated by cold as of late, partly because I've been taking cold showers 5 days out of the week, at least 5 days out of the week for a while now, and it's getting into the winter now, so now I really have to psych myself up to do it. I'm like, do it, fucking, and I have almost this manipulation, I guess you can call it, a trick that I play on myself, where if I get into the shower and close the doors, then I'm not allowed to get out of the shower unless I've showered. And I don't have any warm water in my shower, so there's no choice even. Like, there is only one choice. So I like get into the shower, close the doors. And I'm like, whoa, what have I done? What have I done? And then I basically, when I start blasting myself with water, I have 5 things that I like run through that I'm grateful for in that moment to channel my mind into some other place where I'm like, I'm grateful for you, friends. I'm grateful for my body keeping me warm. I'm grateful for the food I have to eat. I'm grateful for having water to shower with right now. I'm grateful for having a room. I'm grateful for being, you know? And then by the end of that cycle of I'm grateful, I can close the water, wash myself, and then rinse myself with that cold water again. But it is extremely jarring. But the reason that I feel it's important for me to do that is just for the cold exposure. Like, I don't experience discomfort like that anywhere else in my life. And it's definitely something that we get very, accustomed to. But our bodies have the ability to survive that stuff as well. And I also kind of think of cold as a means to direct energy. Like, you are already an energy engineer, like figuring out where to put your energy, as you're living your life. But then using something like a cold exposure to really kind of focus not only your mind on that cold place by feeling the cold, but also kind of forcing your body to use the little blood vessels to warm up that body again, and in doing so, feeling whatever it is you're applying that cold to, and then applying all of that cold all over yourself, at least for a period of time. I just wish we had more information. Again, like, I wish we had like definitive data of like, this is what it does to your brain, this is what it does to your DNA, this is what it does to your brown adipose fat tissue, this is what it does to such and such, and have like some solid facts. You can put the cubes in smoothies. There, you've lost me. I was like right here with you, and then the aloe vera ice cube smoothies. Just because I like the bitter of aloe vera. Like, I can manage the bitter of like a grapefruit very easily, but the bitter of an aloe vera plant, that is like a punch to the gut. Melt and Becky Boop on the road of love, dude. How long would we go for? That's the thing. Like, I would just go for like a year. But I just chain you to it. Gonna come with me. I'm envisioning a cross-country Melt and Becky movie, like a Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. Dude, that sounds so freaking cool. You work for me. You can stay as long as I need. You can stay as long as I need. You're gonna need a bigger phone booth. You work for Haywire Hill, sir. Okay, I'm gonna get an invitation. That way, I can actually, probably get a jobs visa. But I think even that is like a year. But then it's gonna be perfect. Happy Thursday, Melt, and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday, Melt, and happy Tuesday, Melters. Happy Tuesday to you, Sandy. Thank you for no, that's not Sandy. Thank you for joining us, Platform Maker. It's nice to have you here. Take online classes and get a student visa. That I could do as well. Whichever works easier. Cross into Canada and Mexico to reset the timer. You can do that? Someone can marry you, Mel? Would that work? Would that keep him here longer? I don't know law stuff. I mean, if I find someone that like every single cell in my being tells me that I need to be married to her, then surely maybe I'll get married. But and I actually unironically have thought about marrying someone to get a visa. I wouldn't say it's completely impossible, but it's definitely closer to unlikely. Like, maybe highly unlikely, actually. On B, got big brain. Yeah, she does. Yeah, she does. That's great. Melt would be somebody's essay mail order bride. I mean, I could make it work. My mind was like, okay, how are you supposed to do with this information? It's like, how about this? Nah. How about this? How about this? Okay. That looks okay. It works as long as they can prove they truly know slash love each other. I mean, how could we not love one another? That's the way to do it. They should be easy. Gosh, the comment section today has been one of my favorites. I'm also actually having such a good time with it today. Thank you, Isaac. The wedding shall be at the hill. That would be easy peasy. Even 2 months would be a nice icebreaker. That would. I completely agree, actually. Same to you, Twaffle. There's an incredible nature guy on YouTube called Andrew Uckles. He catches a kangaroo by wearing an emu carcass like a costume. Also, he catches rabbits by handing about 12 snakes by hand and filling the burrow to flush them out. A Chad. I don't think I know about this Andrew Uckles, but he sounds like an absolute gangster, dude. I think one of the Australian YouTubers I know about is, damn it, Young Bloods, I think is his channel's name. Brady? Is that his name? Maybe it's Brady. Also such a cool dude. Also a Chad. Like a like a real Chad. I think the Australians are just built different. It does all sorts. And I know shared the amount of pure insanity on his channel is worth a watch. Thank you for recommending him. Like if you like that sort of stuff and you want to see that perspective but oceans, like Australian oceans, then search Young Bloods. Thank you, Fred, for being cozy marshmallow glue, holding all of us together. We rock. You're all the highlights of every day. May you each know how loved you are. Mm, I know. Now I know even more. Thank you, Kira. Since you're employed for Haywire Hill, your visa is good for a year. There we go. I thought so. Thank you, Uncle Becky. That sounds amazing. Definitely the latex before drain the latex before consuming fresh aloe. The white milk stuffies? Is that bad for you? Maybe that's the bitter stuff, I guess. Thank you for the YouTube tag. Marriage can be for platonic love too. I guess it could. You can like have an asexual marriage, I guess. There's something called woofing, I believe. Basically, you sign up to be a farmhand and work for room and board and food and possibly a bit of cash. Yeah, that's already something that I can do, but that's not something I want to do. Like, there's a bunch of South Africans that make really good money doing that, and they buy themselves trucks when they come back to South Africa, after doing that. But not my infinity. No shit, really? Yeah, yep, that's true. Kira Burp. And I was just kidding about the marriage, right? I mean, I've like unironically thought about it as well, Kira Burp. So, you're not far off. I'm sure there's a 60-year-old lady who would take care of Melt somewhere in Canada, America. Get myself a sugar mama. Wouldn't be completely opposed to that as well. That's not completely true. The right brain side of myself is very happy about that. It's like, yeah, woo. And then the left brain is like, what the fuck are you talking about? I sit down, back in your cage. Yes, don't give us a problem to solve, because we got that. I love our collective brains. That I do too. Couldn't be happier with it. The Melting Collective, Uncle Becky. I think about that a lot, dude. I see that symbol in my head as well. Not sure why my brain went to plate tectonic love, plate tectonic love. The same way that tectonic plates slowly slide over one another or away from one another, so is my love for you. It takes thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of years before you notice the love I have for you, but it's always there. I feel like that would be like met with a thank you, thank you. Oh, poor buns. Only love. It's only love. It's only love. The snakes have to eat too. I love the way your brain works. I think I'm hearing a squeaky toy. Is Peppy around? She is. But that is a cat laughter again. I don't know if that's the one you're hearing. Our brains are so connected and hearts that I can feel the vibrations in my chest. It's amazing. Love is true. On B, Kira Burr, Jovan, Toasty Malosti, Isaac, Uncle Becky. Love is true. Like we no longer have to question that, ever again. All of us friends never have to question that ever again. We found it. Trying to find love in this world can sometimes be a little bit daunting. When we convince ourselves that it has to be romantic, it has to be in such a way, it has to give us such and such. But love, without expectation, and ceaseless will always be the answer. And that's what we have here. It's what we've created. It's the reality that we wanted, and now we're living in it. Oh, goodness. It's quite cool. It's a lot of fun. Other times it's madness. I try to have fun. Me too. Me too, Joe. I sometimes worry that your friends are like, oh, goodness, Melt has lost his mind. So we need to call an insane asylum. Give him exact coordinates. Have him committed right now, instantaneously. Every time you try, you are doing. I love that about you. I couldn't agree more, Javan. Like, you're just doing it, friend. Like, no, there is no try. Do or do not. There is no try. It is very sad. I do believe he lets the bunny go, though. He's not one for hunting, just catching. The kangaroo video is incredible. You can tell the respect he has and the way he talks to the animal. He sees the other side of the infinity. Like, that is also something we talked about on yesterday's podcast. Goodness, we touched on a lot of stuff. I was mentioning, like, seeing the infinity in other beings, and not only in other human beings, but in a moth, in your dog. It dreams. Where do you think it goes when it dreams? What do you think it dreams about? What do you think it looks like in its dreams? It never sees itself, right? Like, a dog doesn't really understand its reflection the way that you do. So what does it see itself as in its dream state? And then realizing that that infinite complexity is probably present for everything, even trees. Their infinity is just different than yours is. Like, that respect almost becomes automatically if you just allow yourself to see it. You're giving me so much energy, Burp, and the friends. You're so loved, Jovan. Melt more. If you feel yourself melting, because you're getting absolutely blasted. We never think that we get used. Yeah. Thank you so much for that. Such a beautiful sister. I agree. I completely agree. Mrs. Boop just saying Mel has lost his shit. Mel has completely lost his mind. Now we're gonna go out and try to Mel has completely lost his mind. Done. In the best way, of course. Mind is lost, and then I guess I'll try and find it again. Find it within this moment. No matter how lost we get, we'll find ourselves again in this moment. Resonance. That's technically what I was trying to describe. The things I'm seeing resonates, and then that resonance gets translated into the resonance that I make with my words and voice. Mm, it's come full circle. Oh, thank goodness. Still traumatic for the buns. Poor things. Rabbits are my favorite animals. That's beautiful, Shannon. Like, I'm just imagining, like, unfortunately, we've been so. And I wanted to say brainwashed, but I feel enlightened is the better word to the fact that animals can have complex lives as well. Like with the Zootopia movies, again, the Team Seal movies, Team Seal movie, those birds, with those birds, for example, and then we get to see these animals as like anthropomorphized a little bit. And then I'm just imagining, these rabbits just chilling in his home, like, oh man, long day of like eating stuff, and then seeing 12 snakes. Why is there 12 of them? Why is there 12 snakes? Oh goodness, I'm sorry, Shannon. I have returned. Call's done for the moment. Thank you for joining us again, Shelly. It's so nice to have you here. It's a beautiful day, and even more so if you're here with us. Mm. An unintended look into the lovely person Aunt B is, hearing sounds, ringing a bell in her brain, telling her to sing. I love you. I love you for sharing that as well. You have returned. What was that in the background? Katlachters? Still streaming. I am, Lane. I've been streaming a little bit longer. Now I can again. I've been enjoying spending some more time with you friends. Dragon trying to get loose. So, I've been dreaming, if you will, about these sudden, dragons that I see. And I look at them and I'm like, nothing there. So maybe that's a very sad cow. If it's a cow, I think maybe it was a cow. It might have been a cow. That might have been it. Yeah, okay. Thank goodness. Suddenly, resonance again. I love reading this being 10 minutes behind in the stream. I'm keeping my eyes out. Dragon trying to get. Oh, friends, I appreciate you sharing this moment, this time with me today. For allowing me to share some of my opinions. And not for believing all of it, not for making it your business, but for feeling your own truth about those. For seeing whether or not you resonate with that and to know if you want to experience life that way. For being a part of this new world we're a part of. You're here for a reason. You're here for a reason. All of us are. Thank you for playing your role, for sharing love. Mm, uh, I'm about an hour behind. I just popped back in, and here we are, Eden, in the present moment. It feels almost surreal. Like it's a little bit behind, I guess, but still. I love that you have been spending more time, even just playing with the dog or doing nothing, being together as love, which I hear is true. You eyes wide open, Shelly. It's so nice of me to know that you see. And now that I must go back, I appreciate you, friend, spending even these moments with me. Even if it was like a moment that you spend, like that was love. Cannot undo it. Yeah, you've done it. You've shared love. So thank you, friends. I appreciate you. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, beloved friends. Probably just laying right. Love you too. Freaking love you this much. Actually, this much. But it starts here and then goes into infinity in that direction. And then it somehow circles infinity and comes from that direction. It's right here, dude. That's how much I love you. Then thank you for joining us, brother Bear. Thank you for sharing this moment. See you again tomorrow. Or within infinity.